Hospitals making people sicker. That's not a headline you really want to see. Hospitals making people sicker. Patients are becoming delirious on A&E trolleys. This is according to England's top emergency doctors. Waiting lists have hit 7.7 million people. If you were asking a visitor to planet Earth, how do you solve the waiting list crisis in the NHS? And you explained to this visitor who knew nothing of our systems. Well, we've got hospitals, we've got lots of doctors, lots of nurses, but we've got 7.7 million people who are waiting for treatment. They're waiting for operations and scans and consultations and all manner of things, and all manner of other issues that come from that as well. Even when you get an appointment, the amount of time you are waiting in A&E, the amount of time when you're on a trolley, you've been taken in for something pretty severe, but called out on a 999 shout, you're wheeled in there, ready to get the treatment. You discover you're still there a day later. If you were to explain all of this to a complete outsider, nothing of the system, the first answer they would give you, the first possible solution would be, well, you need more doctors and nurses, right? That would kind of be it. You need more doctors and nurses. Therefore, you would need more money for the doctors and the nurses. But, of course, that doesn't fully address the problem because even if you had more money, and the Conservative government have put a shed load of money into the NHS, I think they claim record amounts, and I'm sure that is true. But you don't just magic a doctor or a nurse out of thin air. That's a process right there. What are you talking, 5-6 years before you get the doctor with a stethoscope around their neck? There's a whole lot of training to go on. So you can have the best intentions in the world. We're still going to be stuck with 7.7 million people and growing. Now, the Prime Minister, rather mischievously, has been blaming the strikes on this because of the strike. Now, of course, the strikes don't help in any shape or form. The strikes will naturally, by definition, if you down tools, you're going to increase the waiting list. But I don't think that explains away the full 7.7 million people. Not in any day of the week does it explain that. There's lots of other factors at play here. I think lockdown has to come back into this discussion. There's no doubt about it. If you close down vital services, including hospitals, you think about that. We closed down medical centres during a medical emergency. Who thought that was going to work? People getting ill. Yeah, we'll just close the very places they might utilise, like doctors' surgeries and small injury units, those kind of areas. We'll cancel the scans, we'll cancel the consultations. The x-rays won't happen. Your bunions will remain untreated, missus. It's all of that for 2 years. And then we scratch our heads and say we've got a 7.7 million. Wow. If you work in the NHS, if this is your area, a doctor, a nurse, in any capacity, could you shine some light on this, please, at the coalface? Forget about, there's some demoralisation and there's some people that will grumble about their wages, but putting that aside, what specifically could solve this crisis? Is it just more people? Is it more hospitals? Or is there something within the methodology that we're not employing here that would help solve it? So I want to speak with you if you have experience, either as a patient, and if you're a patient, you also have a great bird's eye view of this story. What was your experience? How did that pan out, that consultation? My other half was waiting for a scan, a very important scan, and she was told after waiting 2 months to get the appointment, she got the appointment, and that's another 4 months. So 6 months away. That's not good enough, right? 21st century, first world progressive country. 6 months for a scan, really? On what's meant to be a world-beating health system? That ain't good enough.